interested in trying it at home, there are a lot of home kits that you can purchase in order to kind of run that experiment in your own house or in your own backyard. Now, there are several different types of kits you can get. Some are as simple as something in a box. A lot of times you can find these at your local garden centers, or there are some larger, kind of bigger home production kits that you can get that actually are inoculated logs. So probably something that you would maybe have in a shady area or in your backyard, not something in your home. We bought a few of these kits to try to experiment with at our place here and just see how well they do. And I have to say, these kits are kind of nice because they are contained, they're easy to manage, and they're very clean. So something that you can easily do in your own home kitchen or in your dining room and allow them to kind of grow. Now, like I said, they are very easy, so I'll kind of walk you through. We've grown some out, and you can see the impressive mushroom display that you will get. This one actually I've already harvested, but we're gonna get some more on it. So it's really as simple as opening up the package, and there are some good instructions that come with it. A lot of these different kits that are smaller come with the inoculation in kind of a bag here. So you can see what ours looks like. It's not that pretty, I will admit, but this is all the good stuff that makes those mushrooms grow so well. And so they have a nice shelf life to them. What you're going to do is actually grow these inside this box. So you can see there's a perforation here that we are just going to kind of cut this out. So once you get that perforation cut out, what you're then going to do is slide this. You can see how this is folded over, but we're going to slide this with that back in there so we can see where our window is, and simply cut an X in that window. Now, it's okay if you cut that substrate a little bit. This is all inoculated with the mushroom, whichever one you choose to buy. This one actually was a pink oyster, and we also have a pearl oyster. We're going to pull these flaps back a little bit, and then you can see it has a little bit of a coating on it. What we're going to do is just sort of scratch that up a little bit and get that ready to be soaked really well. It's okay if you lose a little bit of that substance there. It's not a big deal. So at this point, we're simply just going to float this in the water. So you simply place them in a tub of water and allow them to float for about 6 to 10 hours. So it's really good to do, just leave that overnight. And the next morning, what you're going to do is get your box. Don't throw this away, because this is kind of how you contain it. So you're just going to allow it to kind of run off that water, and you're simply going to slip it back into your box here. And this is where it's going to continue to grow. So you can close it back up like this, and just put your handle back on it here. And so you've got a nice container. And at this point, every morning and evening, what you're going to do with this little water bottle that they provide you with is just kind of open up these flaps a little bit and spritz it a little bit more. And you'll do that about 8 to 10 spritzes, just enough to keep it moist. Now, a lot of times when we think about plants, we're thinking, okay, well, we need to go put it in a sunny window. But think about, these are mushrooms that we're growing, so we do not want to put those in a sunny window. If you do have a window or something, I actually placed these in a north-facing kitchen window, but I turned the back of it towards the window. So I just had them on my kitchen counter, not up in the windowsill, and so they're getting even less light. So if you think you've never been able to grow plants because you don't have enough light, you might try mushrooms. This might be the ideal plant. And I have to say, they were super easy to grow. So if again, you think you maybe don't have a green thumb, you might try these as well. It's a fun little project. And so you can see after about 3 days, I started seeing this budding, which is basically the spores are starting to kind of expose that fruiting body a little bit. And so they're tiny mushrooms that are starting, and they will continue to grow and double in what seems like from morning to night and night to the next morning. They just really take off. And again, it sort of depends on how much light you might put them in. You do want to make sure you're keeping that humidity on them though, by spraying them. So this one here, we've had this growing. I started this process 1 week ago, and you can see how many mushrooms we have. Again, this is the pink oyster mushroom, and they're just really taking off. And so at this point, what we'll do is harvest them, and you simply take your knife and go in and cut down towards the substrate, and then pull those off. And so you can harvest however many you want and continue to let them grow if you would like. There's still plenty of that spore in this substrate. And so this one that we harvested the other day, the pearl mushroom, you can actually see that there are starting to be more growing on it. So just because you've harvested it doesn't mean to throw it away. Continue to try to get a few more crops out of your box that you buy. Now I will say these can be a little bit pricey. They're ranging anywhere from like $15 up to $30, especially a little bit more pricey if you get the log version. However, it's really the experience that you're paying for, not so much just to have fresh mushrooms, but that's a nice bonus after all. But it really is the experience, and it's a fun activity, especially if you have kids, to kind of monitor and watch this. You could journal it if you want to. You can measure it and see how much they grow during the day. Put a time-lapse video on it even if you wanted to. There's a lot of fun things that you could do with this kit at home. And the other thing I would say is if you are a person like me who is still in awe of germinating seeds, watching something go from like what seems like a dormant thing on the shelf all of a sudden come to life is really an incredible experience. So you might check out growing your own mushrooms at home.
We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.